Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Tea Time with me, Dennis on the Choskas. Today's the 12th of September 2018. Today's Wednesday. So, yep, welcome everyone. So in this session we're gonna have a look at a few instruments. I believe are developing quite nicely. So, but before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimers. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Also, just a very quick reminder of our JFD Brokers website and specifically our JFD research page, where you can go in and have a look at different analysis that we do on a daily basis. So yep, feel free to check us out, and I believe you can find a lot of useful stuff here. So, but for now, let's jump into the charts. Now the first one I want to touch on is the Nasdaq 100. Now I've covered this one a few times lately, and this is the thing I want to kind of show you. So at the moment, as you can see, we've been trading here since Monday. We were trading out, well, we were sitting outside here, but yesterday's candle managed to push the index back inside this rising channel formation that the index kind of broke out of last week. So we can see that the bulls really are kind of trying to hold on to this channel, and of course the idea here is, I mean, at the moment we're gonna stay sharp here, because even though we managed to get back inside this channel, we're still below this key area of resistance here around the 75.15 level here. As you can see, this level acted as a very nice area of resistance here and back here in July, around the 25th of July, from which we can see that the index moved lower. Then also it fell just a few points shy from hitting it again, hitting this level again on August, and around the 9th of August. So yeah, this level here proves to be quite an important one to watch. So if today, let's say if we get a nice close here today above this level, above the 75.15, now this could we could start looking at higher levels. We could become a bit more comfortable with the upside potential, where we could aim potentially towards this 76.91 level. Now this 76.91, just to kind of let you know that this was the all-time high on Nasdaq 100. So if this level here, if it doesn't hold this time and we get a nice break here and a close above this level, then well, it is opening the path towards new all-time highs. So for now, of course, this is something what's in regards to the upside here, but only if we get a nice close here above this 75.15 level here. So keep your eyes on that one. On the downside, well, this is where it could become a bit more interesting, because looking at this form, well, what's happening and the way it's developing right now, for us now to start examining lower levels, we would need to see a nice good move here below the 70. Let's put it here, round it up towards the 7400 level. Now this round 7400 level could be could open the path towards lower levels, of course, if it gets broken and closed below it. So yep, we could open the path towards the 7310, and if that doesn't hold, well, it could open towards this important area of support here between the 7145 and the 7185. Now certainly keep your eyes on that one. This is what's in regards to the downside, but only if we get a break here below the 7400 level. So as you can see, recently, well, on last Friday, it met its support here, and of course yesterday's candle as well got supported near that level, near the 7400 level. So something to keep an eye on, something, of course, if we see a reversal back to the downside here. So yep, keep in mind that this level here, if we get a close below this level, then yep, it could open the path towards lower levels. Let's jump into one commodity quickly, and that's silver. Now, silver here, looking at this daily chart, it continues to trade here below this downside resistance line taken from the peak of the 14th of June. So at the moment, of course, we're going to stay very careful, because as you can see over the past few days, or to be more precise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in the past 5 days here, we were just trading flat here on silver. So now we're, in a way, we're waiting for a big move of some sort, where either is going to move higher here and test the downside resistance line, which initially, of course, could hold the precious metal down. But if the price would be strong enough to break this downside resistance line, well, this could open the path towards higher levels here. These this previous highs that we saw in the end of August, of course, specifically speaking, the 15 level, which was seen here as the peak of the 28th of August, though. So this level could play out nicely as well, only if we get a break here above this downside resistance line. And of course, if we do reach that level, well, we'll just have to evaluate it further, because we might see a bit of retracement, and then, yeah, we'll have a look at that at later stage. But because at this point in time we're still trading below this downside resistance line, I mean, keep in mind that we could see a bit more weakness maybe to come, especially if we get a break here in a close below this 13.985 level. Now, as you can see here, it acts as a nice area of support, especially on the 4th of September, the beginning of this month. And if this level gets broken, if the 13.985 gets broken, well, this could lead to further declines. And if we look at the bigger picture here, let me just kind of drag it back down, and you can see that we do have quite an important support zone here, that's running here way back towards the December time in 2015, and that level is approximately around the 13.645. so something for you guys to keep an eye on, but only, again, I'll repeat myself, only if we get a break here below this 13.985 level. So for now, stay sharp and be prepared for a possible move here on silver. Let's jump into a few pairs. Now, the first one I want to touch on quickly, and that's GBPUSD. So this is a daily chart, and as you can see, we're still trading outside of this falling channel formation. So today we did have a small drop. Let me just quickly jump into the 4-hour chart on this one. So as you can see, today we did have a decline here, where actually it tested this very short-term upside support line here. So it just rebounded nicely from that area, just perfect rebound, and now we can see that the bulls are trying to push it back up here. Certainly the big question here is that, are they going to manage to do that or not? But the main level that we're going to keep an eye on for today is, just let me quickly highlight that for you guys, is this one, the 130.45 mark. So as you can see, it proved to be quite an important zone, quite an important resistance zone here. So if we get a nice move back above this level, back above the 130.45, and eventually if we get a nice close above that level, now this could be looking quite interestingly for the bulls, because we could see further acceleration in the rate, where we could initially aim, of course, towards this little peak that we had here recently on the 11th, well, to be more precise, yesterday. So that level is around the 130.90 mark, approximately there. So if we get a nice close here above the 130.45, this could open the path towards the 130.90, and of course, if that doesn't hold, well, guess what, it could open the path towards higher levels. But then again, like I said, for now, let's move just step by step. Let's see what it wants to do today, and if it just stays here, and if it stays here around this area still, nevertheless, we're still going to remain cautious, or even actually more somewhat bullish, because it could stay, if it stays above this downside downwards moving channel here, then yep, like I said, we will still stay somewhat more bullish and aim maybe for another test of the 130.45 level. But as again, I'll repeat myself, if we get a nice close above this 130.45, then like I said, we will start targeting higher levels. If let's say suddenly this gets back down here and sharply and moves back inside the channel, well, I mean, it probably will start looking quite bad for the bulls, and we could see a few bulls maybe abandoning this pair and getting replaced by the by the bears. So and like I said, this is the one to watch then. I mean, these are the few levels to watch. The first one is of course the 129.15, and slightly below that we do have a good one here, the 128.70. So so keep your eyes on this, guys. Let's see if, of course, how this day develops and how this day closes, and we'll just take it from there later on. So let's jump into one more interesting pair here that I really wanted to show you, and that's AUDNZD. So the Australian dollar against the New Zealand dollar. So trading here, let me just quickly show you the daily chart on this one, and as you can see here, we're still stuck here above this upside support line, or should I say maybe trend line. Actually, they're running from the 12th of April this year. So but at the same time, we're stuck here below this key important area of resistance at around 1.0920 levels. So jumping back into the 4-hour chart, this level here, the 1.0920, kind of becomes quite an important level to watch here, because if we get a nice close, if we get initially, of course, if we get a nice break and eventually a close above this level, then we could start potentially aiming for a little bit higher levels, and the next potential resistance could be the 1.1020. Marked here by the high of the 4th of September, and of course, if that doesn't hold, well, we could continue traveling further, but for now, let's not, like I said, let's not get ahead of ourselves too much, and let's see initially what he wants to do with this 1.0920. If for now, let's just, judging by this picture, it seems that it wants to try and make a move higher. We are supported here by this upwards moving trend line here that I was just talking about. So keep your eyes on that one, of course. Keep your eyes on the 109.20 level. On the downside, well, lower levels, we need to see a good confirmation close here below this 1.0845 level. As you can see, it was marked here by the lows of the 31st of August, and of course then it was near the lows of the 30th of July. So quite an important level to watch, and let me just quickly highlight that for our future reference. And if we would get a break here and a close below this level, then this is the we could start positioning ourselves for much lower levels, certainly initially aiming for this little area of support at around 107.80, and then of course we'll just take it from there and see if this pair wants to move lower or not. But again, for the downside, we would need to see not only a break below this upwards moving trend line, but also a nice good strong close below this 108.45 zone. So keep your eyes on that one. And the last pair that I really wanted to quickly touch on, probably not going to spend too much time on it, but nevertheless, it is quite an important one to watch. And looking at the daily chart on the USDZAR, so you can see that the South African rand is kind of strengthening just a little bit right now. It's currently breaking this quite an important level of support here near the 1503 level. As you can see, it was marked here by the peak of the 17th of August, and of course the big question here is, are we going to stay below this level, or actually we're going to stay above it? Now, this day is not finished yet. We still have some trading time, and certainly, of course, like I said, we could continue pushing lower here. The good area to watch here, especially looking at this daily chart, the good area to watch here is this potential area of support near the 14.75 level, something like that. Let's quickly just round it up. There we go. So the 14.75 level could be a nice one to watch, to keep your eyes on, especially because we do have the 21 EMA here approaching that level and actually almost hitting that level as well. So as you can see here on the 28th of August, the 21 EMA kind of held nicely, and kind of in a way it was the area that we were watching, and it acted as a nice area for a bounce here, where the bulls kind of took advantage of this lower rate here and pushed the pair higher. So again, we could see maybe a similar scenario here, where it could meet the 21 EMA zone, and also again this area here, the support level, the 14.75, also coincides with this 21 EMA, so that's why it becomes quite an important level to watch. But then again, for that, like I said, we would need to see a good close initially below this 1503 level. So keep your eyes on this one, guys. Let's see how the daily candle closes today. So if you found it useful, thank you very much for watching and listening, and again, hope you found it useful. And if you want to join me tomorrow morning at my Trader's Espresso, and that's 6 o'clock GMT time, 7 o'clock British Summer Time. But for now, thank you very much, and bye bye.